Hello, everybody. Today I just wanted to celebrate this day with you. Today is a huge day for our country. The United States has legalized gay marriage, which is huge for the gay, lesbian, bisexual community. I couldn't be happier, and I just wanted to talk about that. So, I've been seeing a lot of different debates going on social media, and of course, people gotta get heated. I respect everyone has their own opinions. But some of the stuff I've been seeing out there does concern me. That's actually something I wanted to make a video about, was discussing whether being homosexual or bisexual is a choice. I strongly feel that it is not. I strongly believe that it is genetics. Now, I've gone, criticized, yelled at for that, or whatever, but that's always just how I feel. I knew I was bisexual. It sounds crazy, but it's like when you knew you were straight, it's like when we knew that we were gay, bisexual, lesbian. You don't necessarily choose it. It kind of just, happens. But the first time I noticed it was when I was 7, but I just thought love was love. I didn't think there was labels for it. I thought it was silly that there were labels for it when I found out. It even took me years for that. And I also didn't even know that it was out of society's norm. So, it's sort of weird to say that for a 7-year-old that love is love because, you're 7. But, little crushes happen. That happens when you're little. So that was kind of when I first mentioned it to people when we were talking about our crushes at the lunch table. And I said a girl's name. And the thing is, I didn't notice that, like I said, I didn't even know that that was I don't want to use the word abnormal, but not the norm in society as society likes to define it. So I guess I didn't really have an official coming out story. It just kind of happened. But unfortunately, that's where a lot of um, people got riled up. And not so much just really in the elementary years, but more so in the middle school years. I had people in middle school draw pictures of the gay lesbian flag, the rainbow, um, and put a swastika on it and put it in my locker. I've had people make up rumors when I was in middle school that I was abusing sexually girls in the locker room because they didn't want a bisexual in there changing with them. So it got pretty vile. And, I had petitions to get me off the soccer team because I didn't want a lesbian on the team, even though I was bisexual, so I don't know why they came up with that. And so, it hurts a lot. And I just would always wonder why people would think that we would choose something like that. As time went on, when I got older, high school, even a little bit of college, not so much of college. College, I pretty much accept it now. I would pray for God to change me, saying, I want to change, and I didn't choose this. I don't see why people think I would. I don't want the harassment. I don't want this. And so, it got to the point where it sounds silly, but I stopped going to church for a while, and it was because I thought that Jesus hated me. I wanted to sit there and be a good Catholic, but, I just felt so much hate. And I actually ended up talking to my uncle, who is a Catholic priest, and he was telling me when I finally confessed to him, saying why I stopped going to church for a while and how I was feeling when I was sitting in there. He just had the best reaction ever. He even said himself, this is a Catholic priest, a Jesuit to be honest, said that Jesus had very little to say on the subject, and that the Bible was written by man, not by God himself. So it was based off the political atmosphere of that time. So for those who say, that gay marriage is an abomination or homosexuality is an abomination, that was really written based off politics at that time. Like if there was a book written in the 1950s about interracial marriage, for example, I don't know if there was. I'm just throwing this out as an example. Say that's abomination. That's the opinion of that time period. And that's also something I kind of wanted to bring up. Is this was one of my little arguments, was that I've been hearing people say all day today, oh well, people can start marrying dogs and reptiles, and that's shame on my own marriage and things like that. But think about it. It wasn't that long ago that interracial marriage wasn't legal. It was, looked down upon. There was a lot of shame that came with it, a lot of controversy that came with it. But once that was banned, once that was lifted, and people from different races could marry each other, did that ruin the institution of marriage? Absolutely not. Of course not. It didn't. So I don't see why. Like I said before, it's human beings marrying another human being. Interracial marriage. Same thing with gay marriage. A human being marrying another human being. Once we go into the whole animal thing, that gets a little off topic, but I honestly feel like that's not going to happen. A lot of people are afraid that now that marriage is going to lose its purpose, but it's really about a union. It's really about what it represents. Now with 2015, there's all this financial stuff and things like that, but it was really just a symbol, a special symbol, one that's respectful and one that should be honored. But even now, the institution of marriage, gay or lesbian or not, and straight, has become not as valued. There's cheating going on. There's a lot of, unfaithful actions. So to say that a gay person marrying another gay person is an abomination, I don't think so. I think cheating and being lying under oath technically, um, and just being unloyal to your partner, I think that is what is an abomination. So I think it really has to do more with morals. I mean, we have to try to move past the whole. I don't want to say move past the Bible because that's a stretch. I mean, that's something we don't want to. I don't want to go there. I'm not even going to start that discussion. I'm saying go past the political atmosphere of the Bible. Try to focus on the whole context of everything, not just solely what it says and take it word from word. You have to think of it all together. Because remember, man wrote it. God himself didn't write it. If God himself wrote it, that would be a game changer. But he didn't. So at least, well, in my religion, so I want to be respectful of that. I'm Catholic, so in my religion, God himself did not write the Bible. I don't know about other Christian religions, well, breakoffs of that religion, um, believe that. So I'm going to respect that and not say anything further about that. But at least from speaking Catholic point of view, it's really, yeah. So moving forward from that, the ignorant comments that I keep seeing are disturbing. I had someone say to me today that they're worried that gays are going to now ban straight marriage, and I honestly can't believe it. I was actually laughing. I was saying this is about equality. Equality doesn't mean that one gains more than the other. Equality means equal. The word equal is in the word equality. It's really not that hard to fix or to really understand. It's right there, but unfortunately, it gets taken so much out of context. So no, I think straight people being married, being able to marry for all these generations, and us not being able to marry, is inequality. So now that we're equal, why everyone's freaking out thinking we got to ban theirs? The whole point is to be equal, to get what we wanted, what they had. So why would we destroy it? It's reverse discrimination. And from what everyone's celebrating today, I didn't see any person who supports gay marriage say something like that. Whether there are people out there in the world that think that, it's a possibility. There's all kinds of people out there, but I'm saying from the majority standpoint, that's not our goal. And I think that's rather silly to say something like that, to be honest. But I was going back to what I was saying. So after I had the conversation with my uncle, who's a priest, that's when I started to embrace it and really understand and feel more at peace. That's when I started going back to church, and even though I kind of go in and out of it now just because of the schedule, and I'm ashamed of that. I admit that. But at least I feel more at peace with who I am now. Clearly, you can see that I'm at peace with what I'm wearing and all that. And that's great. And I just hope that someday everybody can feel at peace with themselves, whether they're gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, white, black, Hispanic, Native American, Asian, anybody, any human being that's feeling comfortable with their own skin. That's my dream. It's not about reverse discrimination. It's not about discrimination. I just want everyone to be equal and happy with themselves, and also feel have the right to lead their own lives and not dictate what other people should do. If you don't want to do something, such as get a gay marriage, don't get one. It's not that hard. But who are you to dictate what other people get to experience in their lives? And that's something that I actually worried about growing up. It sounds silly, but it's reality. I mean, I'm 20 now, so a few years ago I was worried about this. I was worried that someday I'd fall in love with a girl and I'd want to have a marriage, but I couldn't. And I'd see all my other friends getting married with the wedding pictures and getting the rings and symbols and, really seeing what it truly represents. And me just being able to say, okay, well, I can move in, I have all these other rights, but I don't get the ceremony and really get to feel one of the most special days in someone's lives. So today, that's huge that other people can really experience that. So I feel very proud of my country today, the United States of America. And honestly, I don't say that often because really I disagree with a lot of things that go on in this country. And, it's kind of a mess right now. The whole world's a mess. The whole world, it's not just the United States. But today I feel like we made a really great decision and I couldn't be prouder. So it's unfortunate it did take this much time, but we're taking the right step in the right direction. So I'm glad that that's taken care of. However, the battle's not over. There's still going to be people who are going to set out to hurt us, have discrimination, throw uneducated opinions in our faces. And even if discrimination's at work, jobs, we'd love to pretend that the problem's solved today. But the reality is it's not. We have a long way to go. But today's the day to celebrate. So today, I just want to congratulate everybody who's gay, lesbian, bisexual, who can now marry. I also want to thank all my straight friends for support for us today, but also throughout the years, who've stood by our side. As for the people who aren't fans of gay marriage, I respect your opinion. I will not trash it. But my hope is that someday you guys become more, I don't want to say more educated, but more accepting. I guess you can say educated to some extent, of what really goes on with us in our lives and what we experience, and try to honor that. It's genetics. It's not a choice. I didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to be this way. Because, like I said, why would I have, prayed to God in the past saying, change me, I don't want this anymore, if I could have just changed right then and there. So it's simple as that. So congratulations. Big day for us today. Thanks, guys.